My final presentation is on the video game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. It was created in 2000 by Nintendo. It is a sequel to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The game follows the plot of a monomyth extremely well. In the end of the Ocarina of Time, Link's companion Navi flies away into the sky after Link, whom is the hero of both games, defeats Ganon without explanation. The player is left wondering what will happen next. As the opening scene begins for Majora's Mask, it recaps the first game and explains that Link is now on a journey to find his long-lost friend, whom the player knows is his fairy Navi from the first game. The game opens to show Link walking through the woods, which is his comfort world. He's traveling through when he's mugged by the Skull Kid, who is wearing Majora's Mask. His ocarina, which is his talisman, is stolen from him along with his horse. He chases Skull Kid into the woods until he falls down a hole. Is transformed into a Deku. After being separated from her brother Tal, the fairy Tattle urges Deku Link to push on and follow Skull Kid. He follows the only possible path forward, and he eventually meets the mask salesman, who represents the father figure of the game. He tells Link that he too was mugged by the Skull Kid, and he can help transform Link back into a human if he can get his ocarina and Majora's Mask both back. So, naturally, Link wants to be transformed back and get his ocarina back, so he travels, and after some various small tasks, he finds the Skull Kid on top of the clock tower in the town, and he confronts him. He shoots Skull Kid with his magic bubble and gets the ocarina back. Tal tells Link and Tattle of the four in the swamp, ocean, mountain, and canyon, and says to bring them to the city. This is the call to adventure for Link, because after being told about this, he shoots Skull Kid with his magic bubble and gets the ocarina back. Skull Kid then proceeds to call the moon closer and closer to Earth until it's about to hit the town. Link doesn't get the mask back and must travel back in time using a magical song he plays on his ocarina so he isn't killed by the moon. When he travels back in time, it is back to the first day he arrived in the clock town. He goes back to the mask salesman and gets transformed into a human. However, wanting to keep his promise to the father figure, he agrees to get Majora's Mask back. He steps outside of the clock tower and proceeds to pass through his threshold guardian, the town soldier.
It's Michael Jackson. He's back.
Link travels to all four locations, the swamp, the ocean, the canyon, and the mountain, and defeats the various monsters inside the dungeons he finds.
What color's Michael Jackson?
Along the way, he encounters many different archetypes and takes on many different trials. Among them,
I actually have to watch them.
he must rescue a Deku princess, calm the nerves of a crying baby Goron, save a local ranch from the ghosts that haunt it, retrieve Zora eggs from stolen pirates, and heal a little girl's father after he is turned into a zombie by the Skull Kid. After his trials and tribulations, Link approaches the clock tower again, this time having all 4 giants on his side. He confronts Skull Kid and calls the 4 giants. At this point, Majora's Mask releases the Skull Kid from its clutches and flies into the moon. This is Link's abyss because all hope seems lost. However, Link follows Majora's Mask, and when he flies into the moon, he arrives in a meadow. This is his approach to the inmost cave. It is calm, and there are boys around Link's age, skipping around a tree, all wearing masks. The shy one sitting at the center of the tree is wearing Majora's Mask, and when Link confronts him, he is transported to the ultimate battle. He has to face Majora's Mask in 3 different forms. Upon defeating him, the moon blows up. It is symbolic because it seems Link has sacrificed himself for the sake of the world. However, this sacrifice was only symbolic because Link awakens to find the masked salesman and the Skull Kid standing around him. They converse, and it is revealed that Skull Kid only wanted friends, and he thought that the giants betrayed him, and that's why he cursed them. The masked salesman, whom helps Link realize his gift of sharing happiness, leaves, and tells Link it's time for him to go also. Link departs on Epona, thus marking his crossing back of the return threshold. The final scene of the game shows Link's resurrection, for it shows a drawing of him and the Skull Kid etched into the tree, showing their friendship. The various archetypal characters that Link met through the game are his mentor, a wise owl that has much to share with Link throughout the game, his helpers, which are his fairy Tattle and the monkeys in the woods, Scapegoat, the monkey who is punished for being falsely accused of kidnapping the Deku princess, Male Warrior, the Zora warrior Macau, who is inflicted with an unhealable wound after trying to get the Zora eggs back. These Zora eggs were produced by Lulu, who holds the Platonic Ideal archetype. Friendly Beast, Epona, Link's trusty horse who is also his companion. And last but not least, is the evil figure with an ultimately good heart. Upon bringing the 4 giants down to the town, it is revealed that the mask had possessed Skull Kid to do a majority of the things that he did, and he actually just wanted friends. The game helps show the 4 functions of myth throughout the game. It shows a sociological function because of the various customs that are observed are very similar to that of Japanese culture. The game was created in Japan, by the way. It shows a pedagogical function because at the end of the game, Link realizes his gift is to spread love and happiness, which is what he's been doing all along. It shows a mystical function through the story of Majora's Mask, which holds dark powers that can corrupt a person. Lastly, it shows the cosmological function through the ghosts of the game. They are the ghosts of the ancient royal family, and hint at some kind of higher being.